Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Cheryl here, and it's time for our music today. And of course, a little story to go with it. In the Bible, there is a story about two men. They were really important men. One was an older man named Moses, and the other one was a younger man named Joshua. Now, Joshua had been following Moses along and was learning how to be a leader for God's people. But he wasn't ready yet to be the leader, so they were all listening to Moses. Moses had just been on the top of the mountain. That's where he went when he wanted to talk to God and ask questions about what's the best way to lead my people. So the Lord talked to him and told him what to do. So Moses came down from the mountain a little bit, and he called all the people of Israel down at the bottom so he could talk to them. He said, "Now I've just talked to the Lord, and He wants you all to be brave and courageous and be obedient and follow your leader and do everything they tell you to do so you can be victorious in reaching the promised land. But I have to tell you that I can't be your leader anymore. I've done my job and my time is up." So God said, "You have a new leader." And he looked down in the people, and there he was. There was Joshua down there. So he said, "Joshua, come up here. I'm going to talk to you, and let's talk to the people so they can hear us." So he said, "God told me that Joshua is your new leader. I'm done. So you have him to follow, and he will tell you what to do." And then Moses passed away. So Joshua took his people, and they went went back to their camps for quite a while. And then one day God said to Joshua, "Joshua, it's time to go. You got to tell your people it's time to go." So he had some officials to help him, and so he told them to go all through the camp. Tell everybody to get ready. It's time to go. So get their stuff packed up, get their kids together, get their clothes together. We have to start marching towards our new promised land. So that's what they did. They followed because they wanted to be obedient to what God asked them to do. There were some hard times, and they started marching, and finally they came to this big river. Well, normally it'd be hard to get through a river, right? But he learned a lot from Moses. He learned how God helped Moses get the people through the Red Sea, and he knew God would help him too. So he told them, "Just follow me. We're going to follow God." And he brought the Israelite people across the Jordan River, and guess what was on the other side? Oh my goodness, it was their new promised land. They were so excited to get there. So see what happens, boys and girls, when you obey God. He says, "You follow me, you love me, you keep my commandments, and I will give you the desires of your heart." So remember that. Well, now we have a song that also talks about Joshua they were in a battle. There was this really hard city they wanted to conquer, but they couldn't get there. You know why? Because the walls were so tall, they couldn't get over the top of them. So Joshua had to go to the Lord like Moses did. He said, "Lord, what do I tell my people? How's the best way for us to conquer this city?" So you know what the God told him? He said, "You tell your people that we're going to go to that city, and they had a horn to blow, and we're going to march around that city for 7 days. One time for 7 days, and then go home. Next day they come march again until they got to the 7th day. Then they were going to march 7 times around that city." And he told his now, "When we get to the 7th time going around this city, then I want everybody to take your horn and blow it really, really hard. And God is going to make those walls come down." And so they marched around 7 days. 7 days, 7th they got there, and they marched 7 times. And Joshua said, "Blow, blow." And they blew the horn. And guess what? Those big, heavy, thick brick walls, they just came falling down the ground. So that's how God answers your prayer, and He's good with His promises. They come true. So let's sing with the boys and girls here about Joshua and fighting the battle of Jericho. And you can clap now with us too.
Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. You may talk about your men of Gideon, you may talk about your men of Saul, but there's none like good old Joshua at the battle of Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Cry out to the walls of Jericho, they marched with spears in hand. Come bold and grand, march Joshua cried, 'cause the battle is in our hands. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Then the lamb sheep horns began to blow, and the trumpets began to sound. Joshua told the children to shout that morning, and the walls came tumbling down. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. And the walls came tumbling down. And the walls came tumbling down.
All right. See, God did what he promised to do. They conquered the city. They got delivered there too. All right. Until next week, we have music again. Just stay faithful to the Lord, love him, and obey his commandments. Bye-bye.